Number 3, cutting out what's unaligned, making space for purpose. If you're serious about embracing your calling, you have to remove what doesn't align with it. That could be habits, environments, certain people, or even old versions of yourself that no longer serve where you're headed. A big reason why we don't want to let go of old versions of ourselves and continue to grow and continue to evolve is because a lot of times, in order to let go of old versions of ourselves, it also means we have to let go of the relationships, the environments, the habits, the mindsets, the perspectives that are tied with that version. And a lot of times, because we create, unhealthy attachments in our life to these things, letting go of that thing feel like I'm losing myself. It feels like I'm losing a part of me. I can't do that. But your inability to let go is only stopping you from really stepping into everything that God has for you. It's only stopping you from really growing into the person that you were made to be, continuously evolving into a beautiful, unique individual. So you have to remind yourself of that when you're, feeling that tension internally and you don't want to let go of certain things. You don't want to let go of certain perspectives or mindsets or people, or habits, You have to remind yourself, man, like, if I don't let go, I'm not going to be able to truly step into all that is for me. I'm not going to be able to truly step into all that is for me. And that was part of the conviction I felt yesterday, man. If you don't fully let go, bro, yeah, you can cruise and it can look cool and, you're disciplined and you're doing your thing. But if you don't fully let go and surrender, you're never truly going to get to the places that God has called you to be. And I've already made that decision, that I want to live a life of service, of purpose, of alignment with the Most High. I want to live out my calling, and so not doing that is not an option. And the longer that you don't step into that, the more it hurts internally. It does. It says you can't expect God to bless you with more if your hands are full of things that don't belong to you anymore. Sometimes your next level requires pruning, removing even good things to make space for greater things. Right? We talk a lot about removing, the negative things from your life. But rarely do we ever hear removing the good things in order to step into the great things. That could be one of the most challenging things when you're trying to embrace your calling, when you're trying to live, the highest version of yourself. Right? Because there's going to be things that you feel like are good. They're not bad in your life. Why do I feel pulled to let these things go? Why do I feel called to let these things go? They're good things. They're not hurting me, right? They're not doing any harm. So why do I have to let them go? Because what you don't see is by letting go of that good thing, you're about to step into that great thing that God has for you, right? No, you can't see the great thing because letting go of the good thing is requiring you to live out in faith and trust in something you can't see. But I need you deep down to believe in every fiber of your being that when you let go of a good thing, you're stepping into a greater thing. With God, when you let go of a good thing, you are stepping into a greater thing. And you have to believe that because it is the truth. With God, it's never a loss. It's never a loss. You only gain, right? You only gain. So often our hands are so full, right? And we're clinging to all these things that aren't even serving us anymore, that aren't even aligned with us anymore. And because we're not willing to let go, all we're doing is blocking out the beautiful opportunities and blessings that God is trying to bring into our life. You have to let go in order to create space. You have to. Letting go is hard. Letting go hurts. But letting go is necessary in order for you to truly live out your calling, in order for you to truly step into the highest, most aligned version of yourself. Let go and let God. It says, this isn't a one-time thing. It's a continual process of refinement, checking in with yourself and asking, does this serve where I'm going? It's in constant, this isn't a one-time cut it out, that's it. No, it's a constant checking in with yourself, making sure, okay, am I aligned? What's going on in my life? You know what I mean? Let me take let me have a real interview with myself and look at the things that are going on, the relationships, the habits, the things I'm indulging in, the environments I'm stepping into. How is everything? Are there anything that I feel like is pulling me away from my purpose and my calling and my path? Is there anything that I need to lean more into? Is there anything that I need to cultivate more? Ask yourself these questions. Have this type of conversation with yourself daily. Have the awareness to look, have the intention to constantly take the steps you need to take in whatever area it is to be more aligned and authentic. You're golden, bro. You're golden, sis. You're golden. If you really live that out and try your best every single day, you're good. I promise you, right? And like I said, you're not going to be perfect. Yes, you're going to have areas where you lack and sometimes make mistakes and you're struggling in whatever it is. It's okay. You reaching the highest version of yourself, you being the best version of yourself, does not mean you're not going to still struggle. It does not mean you're not going to still, face tough times and go through seasons where you're frustrated internally, you're confused, you're lacking clarity, you feel lost, right? That's not what it means. So when those things arise in your life, when you're still struggling in certain areas, when you feel like you can't get over this thing, when you feel like you've hit a wall, a blockage, that's not the opposite of you moving down the path that is aligned with the highest version of yourself. That is a part of it. So now when you understand that these things are a part of it, the way you navigate them changes. Yes, it's still going to be hard, but you understand that this thing is happening for me, not to me. I just need to maneuver in the right way. I need to lean into this thing with faith. I need to trust, right? I need to lean on support, things like that. I need to be open to the opportunity and the blessing in this situation. Man, this hits. If you don't cut out distractions, they will cut into your purpose. If you don't cut out distractions, they will cut into your purpose. This couldn't be more of the truth. So often, so many times in my life, I've seen how my unwillingness to truly cut out certain things in my life have only cut into my path of purpose and embracing my calling. And you try to, have a conversation with yourself. You try to negotiate and figure out ways to keep it in and not. The longer you don't cut out the distraction, the more that distraction cuts into your purpose. Every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Every branch that bears fruit, we're going to take the fruit off so that it can make more fruit. Every season that you evolve and grow to, yes, you're going to step into amazing things, but you're also going to have to let go of things. But it's not because God is trying to take something from you or neglect you from having something. It's so that you can step into more, right? When we take those fruits off the branch, it's not because we're trying to stop the branch or the tree from growing fruit. It's because we're creating more room on the branch for fruit to grow. It's the same in our lives, right? In order for you to continue to step into the things that are for you, grow more, evolve more, you have to be willing to allow God to prune your life. You have to be willing to allow God to remove certain people, environments, and habits from your life. But the longer you do that, the longer you don't allow God to do that, the longer you just stay stagnant, the longer you prolong stepping into the things that actually are for you, or the more abundance, or more opportunity, right? It's beautiful. Every branch that bears fruit, he prunes so that it may bear more fruit. I'm not taking this from you so that you just stop growing. I'm actually taking this from you so that you keep growing. I'm not removing this person from your life so that you stop growing. I'm removing this person from your life so that you keep growing. Because if you stay in this relationship, if you keep indulging in this thing, you're only stunting your growth. And you made that decision. The day you surrendered, the day you opened up and said, God, I want to really embrace my calling. I want to live a life of authenticity and alignment. You put it out there. You opened up the floodgates to allow God to start working in your life. So now when God is working in your life, don't get in the way. Don't get in the way, right? And how do we get in the way? We allow our fleshly desires. We allow what we want to cloud what we actually need. We allow unhealthy attachments to block us from stepping into the connections that God is trying to bring into our life. You got to be mindful of this. right? And this discernment, the ability to understand what is for you, what is not for you, comes from cultivating a relationship with yourself. How are you going to know what's for you and what's not for you if you don't even know yourself? Why do you think so many of us struggle with finding clarity, with feeling like we're always confused and we don't know which way to go? You're not taking time to really get to know who you are. It's very, very hard to know what is for you and what is not for you if you do not know yourself. You got to spend time with yourself. You have to spend time with yourself, have conversations with yourself, ask yourself questions, sit and listen to yourself. Go for a walk with yourself. Take yourself out.